Well, good afternoon, guys. Welcome to the first newsletter of Alicia Allen Homes for 2021. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm coming to you from the historical street of Trutch in the Fairfield neighborhood. And actually, for January, the weather is not too bad. So all you East Coasters, don't hesitate to come on over to the Oasis. Well, with the fast-paced moving market that Victoria is, we've just, gone through quite a very strong seller's market. So with active listings to sales ratio, we had skyrocketed, and it was amazing to see on a graph at over 70%. So to put that into perspective, anything over 20% is considered a very strong seller's market. So buyers have to be quite savvy with how to position themselves in a multiple offer scenario. So I know I'm coming at you fast and furious for the first installment, but one of the big things that I wanted to talk about in preparation for those coming into the market is I'm getting ready to buy a house. I've found a house. Now what? So aside from going through the exercise of putting the contract and purchase and sale together, let's say we've won an accepted offer. So whether conditional and conditional, that's a whole other conversation. So let's say we've got an accepted offer with conditions. Now what? Especially if you're a first-time home buyer, because there's a lot of logistics and steps in place. So definitely plan on about 5 to 7 days of a little bit of mayhem. But in order to curb that, let's see and talk about the big things to consider. You've now got an accepted offer. Now it's time to hit that accepted offer checklist and know what steps to do next. Because you've got a busy week ahead if you've got conditions possibly between 5 to 7 days. So we've got to hustle and work together. Step one is introducing me to your mortgage broker. These folks are pivotal for buyer financing. So send me their contact information. I open up the transparent open lines of communication and we work together because there's quite a few folks that come together in order to secure the purchase of your home. So one bit of fine print, if you have over 20% down, you are likely needed to have an appraisal. Now, of course, that does come at an extra cost, depending if it's a rush or not. So just keep that in mind because it is absolutely crucial to let me know that you would need an appraisal taken care of so I can ensure there's access and that everybody is on the same page. The next big step is ensuring that you have a deposit handy. So a deposit is a portion that you've specified on your offer that is given to the sellers in good faith and it goes towards the purchase price. So there's a few ways that you can prepare your bank deposit. One is bank draft, second is certified check, and the third is the flexibility of a wire transfer. Now, of course, there's a few extra fees with the wire transfer, so just keep that in mind. And normally, it's good to have your deposit ready within 2 business days of all subject removals. So just keep that in your back pocket to have ready and have the funds ready and to move on that quickly. Step number 3, one of your subject conditions might be on insurance. So it's important to reach out to a few firms and see what kind of quotes they can provide. One thing that is crucial to consider is you want to make sure you've got insurance 11:59 p.m. on your completion date. So definitely talking with those folks, getting the quotes, knowing how much it's going to cost will save you headaches down the road. So the next big piece of the puzzle is preparing your deposit. Now, the deposit is an amount of money specified on your contract of purchase and sale that goes towards the purchase price of the home. So there's 3 ways that you can plan for your deposit. You can either have a bank draft, you could have a certified check, or a wire transfer. Now just be prepared that there's a few extra fees involved for the wire transfer. So one of the other two methods are pretty safe to go with. So if you're in an offer that has subjects, what we usually do is have you with your bank draft ready to deposit within 2 business days of all subjects being removed. So ensuring you've got those finances ready, liquid, and good to move forward is a very important part of this process. And what you would usually do is write the brokerage in trust who you are using with your buying agent. So for example, I'm with Coldwell Banker Oceanside. So on the bank draft, you would write Coldwell Banker Oceanside Real Estate in trust. I know that's quite a mouthful, but we want to make sure it gets to the right place. Another important part of the puzzle is having a reliable lawyer or notary. These folks are incredibly vital to the conveyancing piece that allows the actual real estate transaction to take place once subjects are removed and so forth. But they're also handy in case one of your subjects is to review a title. Depending how many charges might be registered on a title, they'll be able to take a look and see if there's any red flags. Is there anything that runs with the land? Is there any pending litigations? So very important to have a reliable person in your corner. So of course, we have a great toolkit of fantastic people. And as you can see, it's important to have all of these folks communicating together and making sure that your checklist, that the I's are dotted, the T's crossed, and everything removed as they should be. So additional steps, depending on your home's unique attributes, you might need an oil tank scan. So while they are rare to find, if your home was built before 1979, you may need to investigate for a buried oil tank. Many homes in the Greater Victoria area were originally heated with furnace oil. So when natural gas became available, the oil storage tanks, which were normally located underground in backyards, were filled with sand or capped. So the BC Fire Code and bylaws of the municipalities all require that out-of-service underground oil storage tanks, also known as USTs, are to be removed, and that all contaminated soil must be removed and replaced with clean fill. So there's a few types of oil tank scans, and the latest technology uses ground penetrating radar, which is quite reasonable to have performed. A perimeter drain scan. As Vancouver Island has a lot of rainfall, that's why we all have webbed feet, a scan of the perimeter drains can be recommended depending on the age of your home. Older homes often have clay tile perimeter drains, which can start to fail over the years. Clogged perimeter drains are usually the reason for the undermining of foundation footings, which can lead to sinking and settling of the foundation walls. So on average, a perimeter drain scan can cost between $100 to $300, depending on the time they spend on the property. Septic inspection. If you're purchasing a property that is on a septic wastewater system, you do need to inspect that as well. This will ensure that you know that the septic system's current condition and location, and help you plan for any repairs needed. Now, they can sometimes cost anywhere from $300 to $600, and part of my research on your behalf is to check with the health authority and to see what kind of records might be provided. Well water quality and quantity test. So if your new property's water source is from a well, you will want to have an inspection of the quality and quantity of the well water. So depending on how long they spend on the site, testing the pumps, a well test can cost between $250 to about $500. It is also important to have your realtor take a look and see what kind of records or invoices are present on your behalf. So do you have a wood-burning fireplace or stove? It's important to order a chimney inspection. So the BC Fire Code requires an annual inspection on wood-burning fireplaces and stoves. If WET, which stands for Wood Energy Technology Transfer Inspection paperwork, is not available as to when the chimney was last inspected or cleaned, having an inspection will satisfy the BC Fire Code, your insurance company's requirement, and offer you peace of mind. As you can see, there's a lot to the purchase of a home, and in today's fast-moving market, to be educated and informed with how the offer process works is absolutely vital to ensuring that you are buying with peace of mind and knowing exactly what steps or what bridges you might have to cross to ensure, great, my offer is accepted, now what? We make sure we have all the checks in the boxes to make sure that our due diligence is satisfied, and then once subjects are removed, you have officially committed to purchasing your next home. So it's awesome to have a realtor that has your back, that helps you go through this process, keep the organization, and keep the communication open. Because it can be fast and furious, it can be stressful and overwhelming. So having someone you can trust is absolutely paramount. So as always, I would be delighted to answer any questions. If you would like to see any of these checklists I have handy, reach out to me. I'd be happy to share them and send them your way. So thank you for your patience. Thank you for taking the time to join me from Fairfield on Trutch Street. And here's to a fantastic 2021, folks. Okay, we'll see you soon.